Have you ever watched a movie, read a book, or heard a phrase and thought, I wish I had known that earlier? Well, today's story is one of those. There was a young man named Gene who always wanted to travel abroad for studies. He admired his friends who were already in universities overseas. He saw them return home during holidays full of exciting stories and souvenirs. They would talk about their classes, professors, and the amazing opportunities they had. As he listened to them, Gene's desire to study abroad grew stronger. One day he told himself, next year, I'm going to apply for universities overseas. But when the time came, he found himself hesitant. See, the problem was not just about wanting to study abroad. It was also about knowing that this dream required sacrifices. You see, Jin had a part-time job at a local store, but he never saved any money. Every month he would receive his paycheck and feel proud about his hard-earned money. Then without thinking twice, he would spend it all on new phones, eating out, or parties. To be honest, he knew he could save some money each month, but instead, he enjoyed his freedom and chose to live in the moment. One evening after work, he bumped into his uncle. His uncle, being a successful businessman, often shared valuable insights with him. When he learned about Jen's plans to study abroad, he asked a simple question. Do you know the difference between an expense and an investment? Jen shook his head. An expense takes money out of your pocket forever. An investment puts money back into your pocket tomorrow, his uncle said thoughtfully. Jen was confused. What do you mean? He asked. His uncle smiled and pointed to a new phone Jen had bought a few days ago. This phone? Is it an expense or an investment? He asked. Well, it's both, I guess, Jen replied. Let me explain, his uncle began. When you buy something, it's an expense because you have spent money. But if that thing brings you more money in the future, then it's an investment. Jen thought about it for a moment. So this phone, it's not an investment, right? He said. It's not unless you can make money with it, his uncle replied. But I bought it for myself. It's not like I'll earn money from it directly. It's exactly what I'm talking about. His uncle interrupted. See, you have spent money on a new phone. That's an expense. But this phone doesn't seem to be bringing you any extra money, so it's not an investment. Jen looked down at his feet. He realized his uncle was right. Every month, he would buy new things instead of saving. He had spent so much money on unnecessary things like clothes, gadgets, and parties, and now he couldn't even afford to apply for schools abroad. His uncle noticed his disappointment and placed a hand on his shoulder. Don't worry, he said kindly. A mistake is a mistake, but if you learn from it, it becomes experience. We can't change the past, but we can change our future. It's never too late to start. His uncle then shared an important principle he had learned from a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. The author writes, the first step towards financial success is understanding the difference between assets and liabilities and then buying assets. His uncle explained. You want to spend money on things that bring you closer to your dreams, not the things that only look good for a moment. Jen thought about these words carefully. He understood that he had spent his money on things that didn't matter. He had new phones, fancy clothes, and cool gadgets, but none of these things helped him achieve his dream of studying abroad. Determined to make a change, he started saving every franc he could, cut back on parties and eating out, and began investing his money in his education. He used some of his savings to take language courses, which were necessary for him to apply to universities abroad. He studied hard, worked hard, and waited patiently for his chance. 2 years passed and Jen's hard work paid off. He received a scholarship and finally boarded a plane to continue his studies. As the plane took off, Jen couldn't help but smile. He looked back at everything he had been through, the times he had felt defeated, the efforts he had made to save money, the sacrifices he had endured. It was all worth it. He thought back to the conversation with his uncle, the simple yet profound advice that had changed his life. Knew that his uncle was right. Every time he spent money, he should ask himself, is this taking me closer to my goals, or is it pulling me further away? Now, let's think about a situation you might find yourself in. Imagine you have $200. Would you use it for something that disappears, like going to the movies or buying clothes? Or would you use it for something that builds your future, like learning a new skill or saving it for a later opportunity? Think about it. You spend $200 on entertainment. You get a temporary enjoyment, a couple of hours of fun or excitement. But afterwards, that money is gone. It doesn't come back. It's like pouring water on the ground. It disappears. On the other hand, spending $200 on learning a new skill or saving it means you're investing in your future. This is like watering a seed. You may not see immediate results, but over time, this investment can grow into something valuable. For example, investing in education can open doors to better job opportunities and higher earnings in the future. Saving money can provide financial stability and peace of mind. By choosing to invest in yourself rather than on fleeting pleasures, you're building a solid foundation for your future. Just like Jen, when we make a mistake, it's important not to dwell on it. Instead, we should learn from it and keep moving forward. Mistakes are like bumps on a road trip. They're not fun, but they don't have to stop you. Just like Jen turned his mistake of spending money on unnecessary things into experience and eventually achieved his goal of studying abroad. Similarly, we can turn our mistakes into valuable lessons and move forward towards our dreams. Remember, every great story, including yours, has its ups and downs. It's not about avoiding mistakes, but about learning from them, adapting, and keeping a positive mindset. And if you want to dive deeper into the topic, I highly recommend the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. It's not just a book, it's a guide that has the potential to change the way you view money and financial success. In this book, Robert shares his childhood experiences of growing up with two dads. His real dad, who was a symbol of traditional education and success, and his best friend's dad, who represented financial education and wealth creation. Through these two contrasting influences, Robert illustrates the different mindsets that shape people's financial destinies. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not just about theories, it's about practical, actionable advice. Robert breaks down complex financial concepts in a way that is easy to understand and apply. You'll learn about assets and liabilities, cash flow, financial statements, and the importance of financial literacy. Here's why I believe you should read this book. It's like having a wise financial mentor by your side, guiding you through the complexities of money and wealth creation. The book challenges conventional wisdom, urging readers to think outside the box and to not rely solely on traditional education. It encourages financial independence and taking control of your financial future. Robert T. Kiyosaki is not just an author. He's a successful entrepreneur, investor, and educator. With a career spanning decades, he has witnessed firsthand the power of financial knowledge and its ability to transform lives. His insights are invaluable, and this book is a treasure trove of that wisdom. If you've ever felt like you not in control of your finances, or if you ready to take your financial literacy to the next level, then Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a must-read. It's a book that can change your perspective, empower you to make smarter financial decisions, and ultimately help you build a brighter financial future. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Zamuka Minds. If you liked this story, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on our daily stories. If you have a story you'd like to share with us, use the link in the description. Remember, every coin can be a seed. Plant it in the right soil and it will grow. See you next time with another story that teaches us how to rise financially.